Good evening, everyone. My name is D.Moss. It's another Wednesday night. Typically, I have my co-host with me, Justin Yard. He's not going to be here tonight. You know, our journeys is really busy. So he had a number of appointments, and there are people trying to get their bodies and minds in shape. And that's what Justin and Kumar does with our Journey Fitness. So if you're trying to get into that type of shape, make sure you're going down to our journeys. Check out Justin and Kumar. I guarantee you they'll take care of you. Tell them that D.Moss sent you. But we're not here to talk about our journeys. We're talking about Black girls who freedom flow. So what I'm gonna do is let them introduce themselves. We're gonna have what I believe is going to be a very inspiring conversation about Black girls who freedom flow and everything that they do. And every time I turn around, I'm hearing about something different that they do. So not only do they work together, but they also have separate businesses and they give back to the community in a myriad of ways. So we're going to hear about a lot of that tonight. Is that cool with y'all?
Yes, yes, yes.
All right. So what I'm going to do is let you guys introduce yourselves at this time. We are live, and live. Go for it.
Okay. All right. I guess I'm starting up. I'll start off. Hello, everyone. Happy Wednesday. My name is Tanya, but I go by Free, and I am half of Black Girls Who Freedom Flow. I teach the postures portion of our yoga sessions, and that's Hatha Yoga. I am a mom to an amazing 2-year-old, have an amazing husband, and just really out here to like learn myself, learn more about my community, learn more about the different ways that we can just like heal ourselves, and just better ourselves, and to do that creatively too. So yeah,
Okay.
that's a little bit about me.
I heard about Free. Let's talk to Audie. No.
So my name is Audie. I am a visual artist. I'm an educator. I'm a student. I go to school for child psychology at Blk Hlth University. I am the other half of Black Girls Who Freedom Flow, and I lead the meditation portion of our sessions. I'm a mother. I'm a lot of things.
You're creative.
You're the academic.
We're really creative.
The academic director for the Young Scholars Academy.
Yes, academic director for the Young Scholars Academy, which is a youth enrichment program. I'm very active in the community. I love being just about our people and just like, leading them towards a healing. Just helping and just like helping to provide resources within the community for that.
Yeah.
Okay.
And we like to put our hands to making different type of natural products. Like any product we make, we try to make it as natural, as organic. Like if we could dig it up from the earth ourselves,
get it out the mud.
We would.
Yes.
But we make a range of products. I have a business called Pompoa, and I make products that's specific to feminine healing. I make all types of natural products for the body, soaps, oils.
All right.
And Audie does candles as well.
Yeah, so I do candles. I also have some African black soap. It's infused with moringa, and so it's really good for the skin. Your skin is the largest organ of your body, so it's really important, to take care of. And candles, I have some candles here to show you guys.
Okay.
Beauties,
that's dope.
beauties. So this one is a Black Girls Who Freedom Flow candle. This one that we actually collaborated on.
Okay.
We chose the combination of, stones. It's an apricot cocoa cream wax.
Okay.
So it's really, really light. It's so beautiful. The scent is potent. It smells, but it's very subtle, so it's not super overpowering.
Okay.
We have a variety of sizes, so we'll put our information, I guess, in the comment section or whatever, so that people can see, and they know where to find us for as far as that goes. And then for yoga and meditation.
Okay. So tonight we're going to talk about Black Girls Who Freedom Flow. Let's talk about Black Girls Who Freedom Flow. Before we get into the yoga, what exactly is Black Girls Who Freedom Flow about? Tell me about that name, how it came about, and your vision for it when you first, launched it.
Wow. I feel like everything we just sort of discussed is kind of the gist, almost like the gist of everything that Black Girls Who Freedom Flow is.
Okay.
We definitely love everything about our culture, everything about our heritage. That's something that we connected on as people because we met each other at Wow Art Studio, and just based off of that connection, and then we started seeing each other at more community events, protests, creative events, all types.
So it was cool that we were able to like see just like this common interest and like this common goal and vision, and just like to be able to see you and me, and like I said it right. See me and you.
Yeah.
Because like you're a mom,
Yes.
like and just we have the same plights, the same struggles, the same just joys, and just being in the community and all that brings.
Even down to I went to school for youth advocacy and social change, and Adara's currently in school for youth psychology. So even down to just like having an interest in society, in psychology, especially in relations to our culture, and bringing that back to our community, like everything that we've learned in school, in our classes, and being able to bring that to our community in a tangible way where we can create these different products, create these different services that we can say, all right, we know that in our community there might be like heavy stress levels. So we have these self-care products like candles, like sage, like incense, so that we can say to folks, all right, here's a solution to some of these things we studied.
Yes.
Some of these things we know is affecting us,
It's like you're giving the knowledge, the information, but you're also allowing people another step because it's like apply it, You're like kind of calling people's bluff. It's like you want to heal, we want you to heal, and we're here to help. And
here are some of the things because of we're at this point now where I feel in our community where we're talking about healing, like we're talking about we're not just talking about healing in the church where different folks are really like embracing that word and what it might mean for them. And I know that even for me, like my last year of college at UMass, I kind of felt in shambles. Like, what am I going to do after this? Like, what is there out there for me? Thinking about, getting older and wanting to heal from certain things. And sometimes you don't really know, like, what are some of the things you can do? Okay, what direction can I go in? I know I've gone through these things. I know I feel these things, anxiety, whatever. But what are some things I can do? And even this idea, like, I call myself free because I've been calling myself that since 8th grade. Because I just personally feel that one of my purpose is to really like get to this place of freedom in myself, where I feel like, okay, regardless of what's going on, I feel at peace, I feel free. And I have people call me that because it's sort of a reminder, like, okay, it's a reminder to myself, like, okay, even though I might get caught up in everything, like that's still the intention is to get free.
Correct.
And sorry, we got the kids. The kids are sort of
the beautiful part of this is
in and out.
I'm hearing the kids in the background, and I'm going, it's cool because people need to understand this is a reality. We have people who, I'm a father, I'm a full-time dad, and I run a business as well. So it's kind of like you'll see my daughters running back and forth, and it's like, well, welcome to my world. Wonderful part about being free. So that's all good.
It's a flow. That's honestly the whole idea. Even going back to yoga classes, because sometimes people might book a session and they might be running late and they're so apologetic. They're like, oh my gosh, this and that. And we're like, listen, we call it freedom flow because that's the whole point of the session. It's to move organically. It's to move authentically. It's when everybody's in the space. We're not just here to just do yoga and be gone. We're here to like be real with ourselves. You know what I mean? When you get on
Absolutely.
your mat, however you're coming on that mat, whether that be your first experience, whether that be your fifth experience on the mat, you're showing up in your skin.
Indeed.
You could show up
and the
raw.
fact that you're already showing up and you're intentional about being there, like you're showing up for yourself, it's huge. So we definitely make sure that we tell folks, like, just, you know, be gentle with yourself, take your time, pace yourself, even within like the session itself. You want to, you know, just take your time. You're going at your own pace. We're beginner friendly. We have yoga blocks, like different variations of different postures, like all of that. Like, we're not trying to, you know, make anybody
we're not
hurt
trying
themselves,
to,
or, you know, or like, oh, people may feel like, oh my goodness, I can't do yoga. It's like, no, you can.
You really
know?
can, because
Really tap into the balance, tap into your mental, tap into
your inner strength.
Power,
because we all have that inner strength, you know. And even thinking about the Black girls part of it too, it's like a lot of people have this misconception that yoga is just for a certain type of people or just for a certain type of culture, and that's not necessarily the case. If you're a person that's looking to enhance your overall being, you know, stretching the physical body while also being mindful of breath, you know what I mean? That's the difference about it. You're being mindful of, I guess, your spirit man or just your consciousness as you're doing these moves, you know. But we bring a Black girl vibe to it. So we make sure that we include music, because both of us, we love music. You know what I mean? Okay. We're creators. We love different sounds. So we'll include rap. We'll include jazz. We'll include
depends on the day, the mood.
You know,
just the mood.
We have Turn Up Thursday. Like Turn Up Thursday, the whole idea of that is to play music that make you want to turn up.
Yes.
You know what I mean? We accept music, song requests as well, because the idea is like, you can make this culturally relevant. It doesn't have to be this thing where you feel like you don't connect with it. You can do these postures, but you can do them to Kendrick Lamar. You can do them to Nipsey Hussle.
So anybody who thinks that we just do yoga to sound bowl.
No.
Right.
Just so y'all know.
So, Free, earlier you
we're not just in there humming.
Free, earlier you talked about culture. You mentioned culture a couple of times. So when you talk about, you know, we do it in the Black girl style fashion, you're talking about culture. You talk about how when you guys first met, you met on a cultural vibe, just, you know, in honor of your heritage and who you are and all the essence of all that. How important is culture when you know, put all this stuff together? How does culture tie in? 'Cause I think in the Black community, especially in the Americas, we underestimate the value of our culture. So talk about, since you mentioned it, I'm gonna throw you on the spot and ask you to talk about culture just a little bit.
It's huge. I mean, it's a huge part of living existence. I feel like, you know, in today's society, in society period. So, you know, culture provides like you being able to like feel like you belong. You know, a sense of belonging. And so, and like I was speaking earlier about like just like common interests. So like the commonalities between, you know, like different people, to be able to relate to somebody, to like it's just so important, like across like so many different levels, as it relates to education, as it relates to, I don't know, work, so many different things. Even just like like what we do, healing. Like we have people that come to us often, and their stories are fairly similar to what we've heard or what we've experienced ourselves. You know, so we're able to really dive in there and just be like, you know, try this, see if this, you know, and that's a great thing about our sessions also, is that we have conversations. So this is like a normal, you know, this is a beautiful thing just to build, just to see like where people are at. And I think that culture definitely ties into it.
I also wanted to add that I had the privilege at the beginning of last year to take my yoga classes with a Black-owned company, and that alone in itself was a whole different experience than I just wasn't really expecting something like yoga to relate to my culture as much as it did. You know what I mean? As far as being able to use it as a tool to like work out some of the things that we as Black people experience, especially within this country. You know, like I speak about that stress piece, you know, and how many of us like live in this fight or flight mentality because of the environment that we live in, because of the society that we live in. We're in this space where like due to certain interactions, day-to-day interactions, we can hold on to a lot of tension, you know?
Absolutely.
We can hold on to a lot of things that is just like weighs on people. Like so many of us carry tension in our shoulders. We walk like this all day. And we're not even peeping that this thing is happening right here. And just as a people being able to like pinpoint these things and thinking about how generationally we've been carrying so much on our shoulders, and how we've been carrying so much on our shoulders, even in the spiritual or the mental.
Yeah.
And then how that relates physically, how that ends up kind of transferring onto us physically. You know, it goes deep, man. And to be able to like specifically have a class where you have instructors that's mindful of that. You know, like that's why every time we do postures, we're reminding people, inhale through your nostrils, exhale through your mouth, because some of us don't even recognize that our breath is so short throughout the day because we're thinking about so much and we're holding on to so much tension. We're holding on to oppression. We're holding on to suppression. So we're breathing like this.
It gets so deep, and like people, you realize that some people really don't know how to breathe properly. They don't know how to breathe deeply. And it's really a thing. But these are all like residual effects. It makes me think of Dr. Joy DeGruy when she in her post-traumatic slave disorder. We were not provided therapy after, being enslaved.
Specifically for all the things that research constantly shows that we have endured, that our ancestors have endured, that grandmas have endured, and might have unsubconsciously.
Where is that? And when are we can't sit around and wait for them to say, "Oh, here you go." They're not going to do that. They would never. So it's up to us.
Even all of the things that's been going on, even in pertaining to George Floyd and different things of that nature, and constantly seeing that, constantly having that in our vision, and what that might do for us mentally, to constantly see our bodies. You know what I mean?
Basically, you say we really need an outlet, because when you suppress all that frustration, that anger, that humility, everything you deal with, if you don't have an outlet to let it out, it can be more lethal than COVID, cancer, and everything else. So you talk about people getting sick. Stress kills more. In our community, stress kills. Hyper comes out in the form of hypertension, high blood pressure. When you mentioned the shoulders, I didn't realize how critical it was in terms of holding that stuff in and how it impacts, until I went to Morgan Hardwick. She had Soulful Connections, the massage spot. And she was like, "Oh my God, your shoulders." I'm like, "What's wrong with my shoulders?" She's like, "You got to let stuff out." And by the time they finished working it through, I was like, I never realized how important, massage therapy was, physical therapy, exercise, all of that stuff, and how the social issues impact us internally. So correct me if I'm right or wrong. This is what you're talking about.
Yes. 100%.
Direct correlation.
And then having instructors that directly know of these experiences, not just talking on something, but literally can say, "Yeah, I know this. I know these things because I felt these things," and because that's a huge part of why we do it, especially being parents, being people who have a heart that want to help. It's like, oh man, we started doing yoga, we started breathing, we were hitting up parks, we were all through the parks, Riverfront Park, all Blunt Park, all through the parks, and we're like, yo,
reservoirs,
this feels so good.
Just out there.
It feels so good. And we're like, if we're having this amazing experience just by breathing, just by stretching, just by being in nature, how many other people could really benefit?
When you talk about the fresh air, when you talk about the sunlight, just being out under the sun and doing that, and we take a lot of that for granted, and we shouldn't. Which is why I was really interested in having you guys come on, because typically Justin and I, we talk about Black health. People think about Black health. We think about the medical industry. We don't think of all the other variables that come into play when it comes down to ensuring that our bodies and our minds are in the shape that it should be. So let's talk about the yoga. Tell me about the yoga and everything you do. I know you talked about it a little bit, but let's focus right now on the yoga and why it's critical. And another piece, you guys are doing yoga for brothers, which is really dope. Because dudes be like, it's like trying to get them to a therapy or counseling session. Nah, dog, I'm good with that. I'm good with that. I'll drink me a little Henny and I'm good. Like, no, you drink a little Henny and you're going to go nuts. You know, it's like, that's not good.
Right.
So other things that seem foreign to us are exactly the things that we need. I went down to Tiana's spot and you guys are there. You're like, yo, join in. And I'm just as bad. 'Cause I'm like, yeah, I love what y'all doing, but not right now. But my goal is to get cats to the point where people who respond the way I did become the exception and not the rule. We need brothers to say, yeah, I do yoga already. I go to such and such and such. I meditate. I do this. And we have to change the conversations, not just for Black men, but Black women as well. For Black families, I'll say that.
Yes.
We have to change the conversation. We have to change the behaviors, and we can only do that when we change the narrative. So at this point, I'm gonna turn it over to y'all. Break it down for us. Go through the yoga. Like if you're doing a class for beginners, run it down for us and just do whatever you do. If I showed up to your class for the first time, break it down for us.
Oh, you put us on the spot.
Okay.
Wait, before we get into that, I definitely wanted to say that I love that you said Black families because we definitely do include the children with
wow.
our sessions. Our sons do
So
yoga.
cute.
Ashwin does yoga, and it's so cool to see there and being able to give them resources like we were speaking the other day about like maybe test taking or like whatever. They're able to implement those practices for anxiety. But so what are we?
Yes.
What is?
Treat this part of the broadcast as if it was just, you don't have to go through all the yoga exercises, but walk us through it so that people get an understanding of what it is and how it really fits into who we are in terms of our culture, our daily milieu. Break it down for us.
Okay. So every class does present itself to be a little bit unique than the next class. No class is exactly the same because we're very big on just like intuition and like picking up the vibe of each class. But usually we have a little bit of music playing in the background, but that's okay. We don't need that right now. And we like to, if the group is small enough, do some introductions and so forth. And then we have the mats. The yoga mats pull out. So during each session, folks can bring their own yoga mats, but we do have them provided. We sanitize them after each use. And what we actually do is called sun salutations.
Okay. Before we get into that, I want to make mention about breathing. So that when we get into the flow, so before we get into the flow, we kind of reintroduce with how to breathe. So we do what we call 4-part breathing. So it's inhale, nice deep inhale, and we count for 4 seconds. Then you hold it for 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then you do a nice exhale for 4 seconds. Your 4 seconds will look different from anybody else's 4 seconds, but it's really just about knowing what your body wants or needs, and just pacing yourself. So, yeah. And then we get into sun salutation. Okay.
Hold on. Can you hear the music?
Yeah.
All right. So we got some music vibe. So there we go.
That's about the flow. We like to keep it, unless it's Turn Up Thursday, we really love to keep neo soul, jazz, reggae, things that are a little bit instrumentals, live instrumentals and stuff like that. Keep it nice and gentle to the ear.
Yes.
But we're gonna start off with 4-part breathing that Adira just explained.
Okay.
Yeah.
So nice deep inhale. When you are doing that inhale, you want to fill up your belly. So you're gonna push your belly out and you're gonna right.
Inhale through your nostrils as you inflate your belly. Like you're trying to smell a rose.
Yes.
And as you exhale, blow out like you're trying to blow out a dandelion.
And you're gonna sink when you exhale. You really wanna ground. Yeah. Think about grounding. Think about balance, focus. So let's do one, and I'm not gonna count. I like to not count anymore. 4 seconds. Got it? Ready? Ready, Daryl?
Yep.
All right. 1.
Hold it. Exhale.
Nice.
And we'll try to do a few deep breaths, because sometimes when folks come to class, whatever they're doing before kind of might have them a little shaky. So the deep breath, Audie was talking about grounding, centering. The deep breath kind of helps you to like release a lot of anything that was going on before, you know. And we like to give the visual of like inhaling through your nostrils, like you're trying to smell a rose. Inflate your belly, right? And then you hold that. And then you exhale. And as you exhale, allow your body to just sink and release.
It really like provides like just like, yeah, grounding, like recalibrating. I love it.
Okay.
Nice. And then after we do that, or do you want to do? We can do like 2 more deep breathing, 4-part breathing. We can do more of that.
Let's do 2 more.
How do you feel? Yeah, you want to do some more?
Let's do 2 more. You ready? All right, y'all do it. There we go.
So let's inhale deeply through the nostril
for 4 seconds.
1, 2, 3, 4. And exhale. Letting your shoulders drop and your body sink. Beautiful. And let's do 1 more of those, okay?
Yep.
Nice deep inhale.
Hold for 4 seconds. And exhale, allowing your body to just sink. Beautiful.
That feels good though.
Yeah, right. Got your body feeling like way more airy, right? Because now you're not just breathing. Now you're breathing with intention.
Right.
The intention is to breathe deeply. It's to pace. It's to release.
Yes.
Got it.
Yes. And also, what we're sitting in right now is a position called Namaste.
Crisscross applesauce.
Crisscross
folks know it as.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's the typical, I guess you can say, yoga posture. But something to keep in mind, even if someone can do the crisscross applesauce, it's posture. We always try to remind folks about posture in class. Not only because your posture literally can make or break your I guess you can say like your physical health, right? Yeah. Because if you walk around hunched all the time, your body will literally start to feel that, right? Versus if you actually allow yourself to straighten up and allow your spine to really be aligned, you can actually, I guess, strengthen yourself that way. But I also find too that your posture can dictate your attitude.
Oh, yes.
Your attitude, how you feel about yourself, how you speak to others.
Yeah.
Like if you're talking like this, you know what I'm saying?
So we like to tell people stand in your power,
stand in your power,
inhale,
breathe in your power. Mm-hmm. You know, because when you come to class, when you come to class, it's about finding that inner strength. It's not just about the physical. It's about that inner strength, right? So you be mindful of your posture, because when you walk through, you know, or when you're just sitting there, you want to remind folks you are somebody with power. You are somebody with strength. Yes. So therefore, you sit like it, you stand like it. You know. So we always remind folks, like for example, we can show we usually do sun salutations. And the idea of sun salutations is it's kind of like a sequence of yoga postures. And it's mainly done in the morning time, but you can do it whenever. And basically, it helps to wake the body up. It engages the whole body. So you start off with postures where you're standing up on your mat, and then you work your way down to your mat, and then you
Okay.
find your way back up, right? So I'll
Yep.
give you an example. So,
Okay, one
okay.
second.
1 second.
Okay. For everybody just tuned in, we are with Free and Audie, Black Girls Who Freedom Flow. And they're kind of breaking down what they do in regards to yoga and, you know, the efforts that they're making so that more people can get involved and understand the healthy significance of yoga for your physical well-being as well as your mental health. So pay attention. For those who are watching, pay attention and, you know, join in and just pay attention. And then we'll make sure we have all their contact information so you can contact them afterwards and get involved because we need more people involved. This has to be a part of our, you know, everyday well-being exercise. So here we go.
All right, beautiful. We just got done doing some grounding and breathing exercises. So now we're
Yep.
about to get into the physical posture portion. All right, we're going to start off with sun salutations. But the first posture that we're going to do is called mountain. Sorry, I know that you can't see our faces, but mountain pose is a simple pose. It's literally
Okay.
standing up with your hands up high. That's it. But
Okay.
your feet, they're grounded all the way. They're not, they're not wobbly. You're really standing straight as you can. And then your hands reach up really high. But
Yep.
instead of just having your back bent over, you want to make sure your back is straightened.
Okay.
Right? So you're
Yep.
reaching up high like a mountain. And what I like to do is to have folks literally look up into the ceiling. And that's kind of just like reaching up for your power, reaching up for whatever it is you're trying to have come into fruition, reaching up for your blessings, your dreams, you're receiving,
Abundance, yeah.
But also it's a really nice stretch for your arms, for your back, right? And what we like to do right here is we like to remind folks to inhale. So as you're standing up high in mountain, you inhale through your nostrils deeply. And then as you exhale, you're going to exhale into a forward bend. Slowly allowing your body, your hands, your neck, your head to drop. Releasing of all tension. Just allowing your blood to flow. Okay? And then we can do another inhale, bringing our hands back up slowly into mountain pose, mountain posture. Inhaling, holding. Exhale as you squat into chair pose. All right, chair pose is like mountain pose, except instead of standing up straight, you're squatting. All right, want to hold that for a bit. Inhale again. Exhale into a forward bend. Slowly bringing your palms down to your mat. Then you're going to kick back. Now, if you're a person where holding a plank is a little bit too much for you, you can always rest on your knees, right? And then slowly bring yourself down onto your mat. Beautiful. Okay. While we're here, we just want to relax a little bit. Get familiar with your mat. You can tilt your head to one side. Okay. And we're going to do another inhale. We're going to press our palms down into our mat as we bring our bodies halfway up, keeping our thighs, our legs on our mats. Halfway up is called Cobra Pose, right? That stretches your back really nicely. Make sure you exhale by now. Let's do another inhale. Bring ourselves up more, keeping our thighs and mats, our thighs on the mats. Exhale slowly down onto our mats. This motion is a very relaxing motion. It helps to stretch our lower back, strengthen our biceps. Let's do one more of those. Inhale your body up slowly, keeping your thighs on the mat. It's called Cobra Posture. Exhale as you bring your body all the way up, rolling your head back. It's called upward dog. Slowly bring yourselves back down to your mat. Inhale on all fours. Your palms and your knees. Exhale as you bring yourself up into downward dog. Looking in between your legs, keeping your back straight. Tightening your abs. That helps to stretch your back right here, your legs out. All right, let's do another inhale. Deeply inhale through your nostrils. And as you exhale, you slowly walk your feet to your hands. Slowly come on up, allowing your blood to flow, your body to release tension. Let your hands drop at your side. Okay. That was a run through of sun salutations. And what we're going to do is do another inhale as we raise our hands up into mountain pose again, mountain posture, reach high. Bring your hands together. Exhale them down into your heart space. We like to call your this section your heart space, right? We like to use this time to really connect with our heart. If we can, feel our heart beat. Remind ourselves we are alive. We're okay. We're here. We've made it another day. Okay? And with that, I say namaste, which means I bow to you, or peace be to you, peace be unto you.
Wow.
And that concludes the posture portion. Namaste.
Wow. Wow. So how long does like a typical yoga session last? Like how long is the class? Like, or whatever I'm not sure what you even call it.
Typically, it's a flow. It's typically we're at like hour to 90 minutes.
Hour to an hour and a half, because after we do the postures, we'll head right into meditation.
Okay.
And then again, the conversation piece, we also add that in there. So
yeah, so it depends. Like, you know, if it's a smaller class and you can tell that folks are more just like ready to get to the postures, then we'll kind of probe it. We'll even ask folks, do you want to have some conversation here? What were you feeling? How was that like? And then, you know, conversations flow and we might take a few minutes before we head into meditation. Okay. And sometimes even after meditation, you know, folks might have such a pleasant experience that we end up having more conversation.
We go back into conversation.
Wow.
We just be talking, because a lot of people have not experienced something like a freedom flow. And it raises questions and different things like that. Yeah. So each class is unique. It's an intuitive, it's a vibe. That's why it's a freedom flow, because no class is the same, you know?
Okay. And it wasn't quite what I had expected, to be honest with you. I guess I'm used to what I see. Excuse my ignorance. I'm used to what I see on TV. You know, little skinny blonde-headed women. They're saying, okay, now turn this way and twist. And it's like, what y'all talking about is like, oh, okay, I dig this. And then you got the music kick in and the vibe. I got it. That's okay. Give me the hours. When like if we'll be playing this all week long. So for folks who are interested and they're like, wow, this wasn't what I was expecting. Like if Vix decides she wanted to go, I'll be like, well, I'll keep the girls. You going down there, but Thursday night they got the fellas going down, so I'm going. So how can people get in contact with you? Where would they go? Give me all that information.
Yes. So we're still building the schedule for January. We do have a few specific events coming up, but as far as just regular class, we're still building that for the new year.
We are, yeah. We took a much needed hiatus after the year started. We will have classes available soon throughout the week. We're just still kind of figuring out virtual opposed to in-person. Our in-person classes are down at the Hub, which was formerly known as the Shops at Marketplace. It's downtown Main Street, Springfield. But in the meantime, we do have virtual. We have the option for virtual classes. We do private classes. And we also do like group virtual class. So like we could hop on Zoom if you had, yourself and someone else, or however that works out.
We're flexible.
We're very flexible.
We're literally like we're yoga instructors, but we're here to provide this thing for this service for our community. So if folks are like, hey, I'm not really I can't make it to class, but I would love to like hop on with y'all on a personal, just like Zoom or whatever. We're open to all of that.
Absolutely.
And our Facebook page, Black Girls Who Freedom Flow. Our Instagram is Black Girls Who Freedom Flow. Even our email, blackgirlswhofreedomflow@gmail. We're active on there. We're very responsive. So as we figure out each day, then we'll definitely, let folks know.
Yes, and as Tanya said, that we have an event coming at the end of this month. It is for men's mental wellness. Just like mental awareness, just talking about mental health and what it looks like for men, self-care. We'll be doing yoga, meditation,
different workshops. A lecturer, Dr. Shabazz is coming in to do a lecture. So
it's going to be really, really beautiful. It is donation based, so we're asking folks, donation, give whatever you can.
It's a free event, but if folks are able to donate a certain amount, then that's acceptable too. But really the whole goal though is to just encourage men in specific, that self-care is available for y'all as well. Yoga is available for y'all too. All these, natural remedies and holistic remedies that's going on, it's for anyone who's living and breathing and trying to elevate.
Absolutely.
That's phenomenal. Now, is this going to be virtual when you talk about the event you have coming up, or that's virtual, correct?
So the one at the hub.
Okay, you did say the hub. I'm sorry.
Yeah, so that one's at the hub.
But it is restrictive. Like we can only have a certain amount of ticket purchases.
Masks are a must.
But we will have it live streamed as well.
Yes.
So for folks who want to see what's going on, want to partake in what we're doing, it'll be live streamed.
Yeah. Okay. But yes, please check us out on social media and just stay tuned because we have a lot of things coming up. Different flyers will be coming up for the mini events that we have. We're already booking into spring, and I'm really just excited for everything that we have going on.
That's phenomenal. Well, I will say this: if you have anything coming up from February on, send me. I'm telling everybody, anyone who has a business, an organization, send me your press advisory. The Metro record is out. We're putting out 25,000 copies. This is the type of information that we're looking for. Anything that's going to impact the quality of life and health for Black people, I think is critical. And our job is to get the news and information out, which is one of the reasons why Justin and I do this show on Sundays. We do On Deck with Keyshawn Dodds, Rob Jones, Mindy Jones, and a few others. Because this type of information is really important. And it's like, we want it to be more than just a fad. We want this to be something that, folks take into their old age with them. And it just becomes a part of who we are on a daily basis. It's like the other day we were on another show. And we talked about that was with Artie. We talked about the principles of Kwanzaa and just really incorporating that into what we do on a daily basis. I think, Black Girls Who Freedom Flow should be Black Families Who Freedom Flow a year from now, because all our families should be like vibing and doing this and staying healthy. So I appreciate the information that you guys shared. I just think it's on point, and I got to say thank you.
Thank you for having us. Thank you for providing this space for us to be able to come and let folks know what it is that we do and what we enjoy. This is a part of our lifestyle. It's so interesting. This is not just, that we're just we're yogis. We're going to just, we do this.
And yoga, and technically yoga got 8 limbs. It's not just postures. It's not just meditation.
Right.
It's actually very similar to Kwanzaa as far as having these principles that you can go back to and kind of help to center yourself on a specific way of living.
Pretty cool. Yeah, it's pretty cool when you think about that. When you think about just principles in general, it's something that you can just go back to, value systems.
Especially when for all those folks who work in corporate America or work in them factories and warehouses, and you're dealing with bigoted people, man, you got to find a way to release. I tell them, find a way to release.
And I will say, you can't, you know what I mean? If you want to drink a little wine, if you want to loosen up before you come to class, that's acceptable too. We are, you know what I mean? Yeah. Really come as you are.
I started a collection. You know why? I started buying it by the case. 'Cause I'm like, you know what? One glass a day is not going to kill me. And there's times when I just need to help my body relax.
Yes.
Because when you call yourself taking on all the struggles of the world, where you walk around like tight and edgy. So a quick glass of wine, you sit back, you
Hey.
relax. Yeah.
It's all right. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
You know,
You
there
can-
was a time when I would never do this publicly, like, but it's like, am I
And you know
wide open?
what too?
It's all in moderation.
Especially if you've had a productive day.
Yes.
Right.
Especially if you just, you just made something happen that was just made something from nothing, and it's like, oh, I did this amazing thing. Celebrate.
Yeah.
Celebrate.
Yeah.
Be gentle with yourself. Be kind to yourself.
We're here to meet people where they are too. Like,
Right.
you know, we're not telling folks to give up nothing, really.
Mm-hmm.
We're asking folks to be open-minded enough to try something else.
Embrace.
Right.
To try to add this thing on, because you might find out that if you add it, you might not need some of the other things.
It's like a drop
You
off,
might not
right?
need. You don't need it. You might not need some of the things on that list, and you know what I mean. That could happen naturally in its own way. In its own right. But yeah, we are definitely Black Girls Who Freedom Flow. It's about a freedom flow for every individual that comes through. Your flow looks different, and we encourage that. You know.
And that's beautiful. I appreciate you guys and everything that you do. It's not something that I take lightly. It's not like, okay, let me get them on. We can fill space, get them on, have some fun. It's like, no, this is valuable information, and it's it's a very useful practice that people. And I'm gonna keep reiterating, people need to incorporate this into who they are and how they live daily. It's just important. So
yes, the meditating, the journal, the self-care. If you can get you a candle, look at the ingredients.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You gonna light these things. You gonna spray these things in your house. Look at the ingredients. Look at what you're actually taking in.
This is us day in and day out. This is us.
Wow.
Yeah, man.
Because all that self-care is just so important. It's like, how can you not?
Right.
Expect to deal with others, and expect to just like live a decent life. I mean.
And if anything, it's just good for you. You know, like I'm so happy that I was able to find like these key things that I can always go back to. Like you can always go back to your journal. You know what I mean? You can always go back to writing some stuff down to release it in that way. And finding these things, like especially even at this age too, and being able to like grow with these things. You know what I mean? That's what makes me excited. And to be able to present it to our kids at such a young age too.
Right.
Like, and Daryl was just talking about how great that's gonna be for their experience and being able to reflect like, yo, mom and auntie had us in the living room like breathing and doing postures and learning about chakras and writing stuff down that we wanted to, like
absolutely.
They're gonna be able to look back on these things and if they're in college or having a stressful day at work and all these things, I hope that they'll be able to remember.
They can go back. They can resort back to like, okay, I remember doing this. Now I can apply it to my adult life, or my friends dealing with something. I can talk to them, or like I can suggest this.
If they're in a stressful situation on the moment, learning to breathe.
Yeah,
it helps you to stay calm. I know I've been in situations where it's like, all right. What I'm going to do is I'm going to walk away right now. It's like,
yes.
Some of these techniques, it's like you can incorporate during any type of situation. So, I don't know about the rest of what you guys do, and I'm looking forward to learning more. And I'm sure there are other folks who are looking to learning more because this is important. So, people, whatever you do, again, we'll be playing this all month long, letting it just like a Channel 3 replay because people need to watch this. They may not get it tonight, but they might get it tomorrow. The most important thing is that they get it, and we meet them where they are. So, again, I don't know how to say thank you enough. Did you guys have any more products that you want to talk about or share with the audience while we're on? Because y'all do just about everything.
Not for me necessarily. I would just encourage folks to. Most of our products are located at the hub. We make a whole I'm about to make some tea bags. I got some herbs shipped to me. Some different type of teas and stuff. So we're always whipping up different things, different products.
Yeah.
And we always, you know, we have them available at the hub.
Mm-hmm.
We try to like let folks know on our social media what we have available. But there's always something. There's always something that's getting cooked up.
Yes, yeah. So
That's
yeah,
dope.
please
That's
definitely check us out on social media, all of our social media platforms. And reach out via email.
Yeah.
We respond. Any questions, anything like that. Yeah.
And if you have kids, make sure you send them to Audie for the Young Scholars Academy because we create geniuses.
Yes, we love the little ones. We love the young scholars.
It is. All right, y'all. So I'm not going to keep you on all night. I said less than an hour. We are under an hour. Thank you. And I hope at some point in the future we can get you guys back on again to follow up. Is that cool?
Yes.
All right, y'all. This is Blk Hlth. Let's talk about it. D.Moss with Audie and Free. They call themselves Black Girls Who Freedom Flow. And I'm telling you, y'all need the freedom flow right along with them. With that being said, peace, everybody.
Peace.
Peace and blessings.
I can't even run. I got a little headache going on.
Oh.
Okay, what's going on?
Sorry. Ouch.
Does yours still say live? I hope I'm still not live.
Oh, yeah, it does.
It does.
In broadcast.
Hey.
Sorry.